Have you ever wanted to watch a pro match where Grimm and Adder actually go cutthroat even through the entire game? Well, this one is not only that, but also one of the most insane matches I've seen, where you'll witness a never seen before advanced Grimm strategy that will allow him to go head to head with Adder. Now, for a little bit of context, this game is pretty old. It's from like 2021, so almost 4 years ago. Well, more like 3 years and something. And I saw this game being covered on a Voice of Akasha stream recently, and I said, this game was so freaking insane. I need to make a video out of it. I'll put Voice of Akasha's Twitch link stream thingy in the description if you wanna go check it out. I definitely suggest you to, because he drops gems of knowledge with every sentence he drops. So definitely suggest that you do that if you want to learn more stuff. But I was like, wow, I really need to make a video out of this match because it was so crazy that it needs its coverage. So what do we have here? We have a 3 base 1 airport map. It was made by Voice of Akasha too. You have this very middle base, so you kind of have like one base responsible for each front, sort of. And then you get this very central airport. You get this HQ, which is very exposed. There's some possible HQ cheese there, and very safe comm tower down here. Perhaps some battleship, whatever shenanigans. I don't know. We will see. But we have Grimm and Adder, which we can get to in a second. The players, we have Data Shifter and Soth. So both of them looks like they joined around 2021, probably like reboot, explosion, moment era. Both very good players. They kind of got to like 1400 and so. Data Shifter hasn't played since like 2023, so stopped playing like 2 years ago. Soth still keeps playing. I think he's had a few like retirement moments, but he has come back. He's currently playing as well, so I'm very excited to see him. Data Shifter, on the other hand, hasn't come back to play, unless he's playing on an alt, I don't know. But 2 very strong players at the time. 1400 was a lot. It still is a pretty solid number, but there's been some inflation, but whatever. That's a topic for another day, perhaps. But very funny how we have a tier 4 Grimm versus Adder, which usually Grimm is like the meme pick, right? And so I'm gonna try to get into the match a little bit, but something that Voice of Akasha said on the stream, which was so smart, is that we all know that usually Adder is benefited in this matchup, right? Like Grimm's firepower boost gives him a very slight advantage, it's like a 3%, 5% difference between his increased firepower and his decreased defense. There's a little bit of a difference there, but a very small difference in attack. And the problem is that he's faced against Adder, he gets +1 movement, right? So it's all about those first strikes, and it's very hard to get first strikes if the other guy has +1 movement on every literal single unit. So it's very hard for Grimm to do anything if like he's getting zoned out by Adder at all times, right? With his very cheap power too. So it's very difficult. Usually Adder will just kind of win, but what the GOAT of Add-Ons by Web pointed out, which was very interesting, is that the only thing that Grimm can really do is to just brawl to death. Because if you get into that scenario where you're kind of like staring at each other, like, oh, my copter here, that kind of thing, then Adder's gonna beat Grimm every day, all day, every day, because that +1 just means that he is out positioning you every single time, and then he can, I don't know, go for properties or whatever. That's just something that Grimm can't deal with. He does have increased firepower with his power and super, so there's certain moments, certain breakthroughs that are nice. But what Grimm can do is that if he's always brawling and just keeps unit count and everything just like really, really low, then the +1 movement's not gonna do too much, right? He's not gonna get outpositioned if your units are already exposed, right? What does +1 movement do if you can already reach my unit? Which I thought was just a hilarious I know, like a thought, right? Like, it's like that's so true, right? Because Adder doesn't get increased firepower from his powers. He only gets +1 movement. Well, only. It's very strong. But if Grimm can keep brawling all the time, and just keep unit count, but like stupidly low, right? Like 10, 15 unit count overall, or just keeping brawling all the time, then his little margin of extra firepower will matter a little bit. You know, there will be little breakthroughs, little thresholds that will matter, and the +1 movement by Adder is not gonna matter, right? If I'm just sending my tank in range of your tank, and you can reach it with power or not, it doesn't matter. And what's gonna matter more is like the firepower increase by Grimm on a day-to-day, but also with the power or the super. So I thought that was just incredibly hilarious. I wonder if a Grimm guy was watching the stream, or if he already knows about this. Maybe he already did. I don't know. I think he's more of a positional kind of slow player. But maybe he's like, that's actually really smart, and maybe he'll like evolve, right? Maybe we'll see a Grimm guy 2.0 after all of this. But I don't know, man. That was just so funny. But here's something interesting, right? So. Infantry here is going to be very important. So for example, let me go back a little bit. So they're both going for the port, or I mean, of course, you go for the base first, then you go for the port, and then the third infantry is going forward, and you're going to want to go for that mountain city. And so Soth could very well go for the city, right? As he can also capture this one with a port guy, and this one would support this guy, or go for the city. The thing is that then Grimm could kind of shoot from the mountain, delaying his own cap. But I think it could still be good. He could make a tank here. The only thing is that you would have to retaliate from like the plains, and then this base will be able to reach as well, unless you would hit from here, but then you're delaying your own cap. Tricky. We'll see what he does, but he doesn't go for that. He doesn't go for the greedy cap to maybe start a fight. He's like, nah, I'm cool, I'm chill. You know, I'm just gonna go for my safe caps. I'm gonna make a tank, just so if he wants to go greedy here, I can double hit KO it. Nothing he can do about it after that. Very, very passive approach. He could have very well gone for that, but decided against it. He'll have his reasons. And even this other infantry is not gonna go for that mountain. He's actually gonna go for that airport cap. He can't really put it anywhere that could go for both, so he decides to go for the airport and makes a tank of his own. He's gonna have to interrupt this capture to be able to stop this, really, but he could block it too. He could put that tank here, and then Soth will get this city. And over here, Data Shifter is not gonna go for that mountain city either, but he's positioning the other one right there, which makes sense. So now Soth is gonna go for that. Actually doesn't. Oh, okay. He could very well put this guy here, but I think this tank is also sort of threatening to interrupt the airport cap. It's also having a bit better of a positioning because it was first, right? Got this first tank against this one. It kind of zones this one out. But because Data Shifter is going to have the tank chain because he went second, he can very well put it like anywhere here and then just support it with the next tank. So it's not really going to zone Data Shifter that too much. He's also not gonna go. Oh, okay, never mind. But he could have. This guy came from the city, so he could have gone here, you know, and threatened that. But he decided not to. He went for a very passive. I'm just gonna go for the city, whatever. So there we go with that capture. Data Shifter probably just expose the tank, or also like it's threatening to interrupt here, but you just block here. This is safer, and then you support it with a chain, so it's all good. But let's see when. Or how that strategy that I mentioned, that Mr. Voice of Akasha was talking about, the only chance that Grimm really has in this matchup. How is it going to happen? So both of them are going to get these cities in the mountains. It seems like there could have been some scenario where they could have started a fight, but it hasn't happened. And Soth positioning here, he can go for like a double hit KO here and start a cap next turn. So something that Data Shifter has to keep in mind. Data Shifter could also attack here and then restart a cap. So we'll see if he actually does that. Ooh, actually goes for that tank attack away from his own base range and in range of this other base. But because Soth made a tank on this side, his second tank was made here instead of here. Maybe that's why he feels a bit more comfortable, because he can hit it, you know, with a supporting one. And again, he wants to get into a brawl, and so he's actually going to interrupt his own capture of this very contested property to attack this guy right here. And makes the tank over on the right. Okay. So it can still interrupt here. Let's see, tank attack. Boom, 7-4. Data Shifter does have the comm tower, so he did rush the comm tower versus going for the city, right? He really rushed it, while Salt is like prioritizing this city, and then the second infantry is going towards the middle, towards the port, and his third infantry is probably going to go for that comm tower. So really delaying that firepower. So Data Shifter is getting a little bit of an edge on the firepower department. If we look like strictly at stats, like let's do like this, right? With 0 comm towers, it would be like 64 to 72 on a first strike, right? And if you swap it, it'd be 60 to 70. So you can see GRIMM gets a little bit of an edge, right? Like a 4% or it's like a 5%, I don't know, something like that. Something for the smart people out there to do the math here, but it's a little bit of an attack increase. And if you add the comm tower, that's gonna make it 69 to 77 against 60 to 70, right? So during these next like 2 turns, GRIMM is gonna have like a 10 to like 15, 20% extra firepower that maybe Data Shifter should try to take advantage of, right? So actually gonna try to do some luck damage on that tank, but unfortunately doesn't get it and actually gets it injured. Sacrifice that guy to delay that capture a little bit. Now he's gonna go for the comm tower, goes for the port, and all these next infantry are gonna go towards the middle. So it's important those middle caps. There's a lot of income right here. Look at this, 3 pairs of cities in the middle. So definitely you don't want to get too stuck up on this like mountain city, and you want to be here as well. A double tank over here, infantry. Yeah. So this tank, bro. Do you think Data Shifter should go and take that up? And he very well could, right? He could. This tank did take out an infantry. It can go back and heal. You take this one out, and then this one goes and attacks. And you're kind of just trading tanks, which again, and now you take another infantry out, so that tank is going to go down. So right now he is positive, right? He's tank trade positive, half one down, but 1 down for Salt, plus like 2 infantry that he took out. So overall, a bit of a positive trade here from GRIMM, from Data Shifter. This tank will be able to get a first strike here on this tank, but then they'll be even. There'll be like 2 half tanks against 1 full tank. He can also make another one over here, or he can make a copter over here as well. And GRIMM copters are going to be really strong. So you're going to kill that infantry and going to keep capping there. Keeps this tank out of range, yeah, because he's going to make a copter and not chain that tank, so he needs to be careful of that. And infantry everywhere. GRIMM copters are crazy. They are his best unit, or one of his best. His indirects are also pretty good, because defense, who cares about defense on indirects, right? But copters are amazing because they have so much extra firepower, and the defense against it doesn't matter because they already get taken out by anti-airs, so they're really nice. Tank's gonna go in. Oof, 8-3. Now that the comm tower is on, we can see those increased difference in attack. It actually gets the charge enough for a side slip, which now is gonna make a difference because he could go and snipe this tank. We'll see if he does, but these infantry are gonna get picked off. That capture is not gonna get cancelled because it's gonna be just enough to finish off the cap. That one's gonna get attacked, and he does actually go and snipe that tank. So a little bit of a blunder there by Data Shifter. Perhaps should have left this tank on the city, just out of range of a side slip from South. Unfortunate there for GRIMM, and he's gonna get a little snipe there on that infantry as well. Copter is not in range of that tank. It wasn't in range to cover, so this is somewhat okay, but I think Soto's gonna lose a lot of infantry here. Copter's gonna get a free damage, perhaps 2 turns free of damage because there's no anti-air build here. Maybe until this Copter comes into play. But now you also have a tank in the middle, so it's looking pretty good for ADDER perhaps. We'll see. Infantry gets taken out. This one also. Now we have another copter, so very low on the infantry count here from South, And data shifter should be pretty fine. You have a few more coming in from the middle that are gonna go towards the middle caps. And this base, as he's making a bunch of copters, he's gonna have 2 healthy, probably a 3rd one as well. So he'll be able to threaten this city. Sacrifices some infantry here, goes for some luck rolls there and just makes an infantry. He's like, I'm just happy with having the city and that's it. I'm just gonna move on. It's kind of a problem because this can get taken out very easily and then start the capture. He's gonna have these to kind of interrupt it, but nothing much else. So that city is very likely to fall very soon. Okay, so infantry gonna get taken out. That one's gonna take that, and then you start a capture. You can probably block with tank, copter, and just ensure that you flip this property, right? Or perhaps you take out that infantry. Okay, even better. Leave it at 1. And then what died there? Oh, 2 HP. Okay, copter in the center, taking control, starting 2 caps. Tank moving out towards the middle in range of the copters. So that's kind of dangerous because there is 1 copter in range from south, but that's 2 copters, and that is in range of the airport. So that's gonna be a copter trade battle that Data Shifter is gonna win every single day. Like there's gonna be 2 turns away for ADDER, right? And even antis are gonna have a hard time reaching this area. So this little tank poke it's gonna start a fight that's gonna be negative for south. Perhaps this tank could have gone back and healed. I think the idea was to slow down these captures from GRIMM. But yeah, that's gonna be a dead tank. Gonna try to go for some other lock rolls, but not gonna get it. Just keeps making infantry. Doesn't even wanna invest anymore in this base. And another copter, just really getting that copter spam going. Even also base giving up here for that copter tank infantry. So really under investing in this left base, which is easily the weakest base of all. Right, since you have the copter over here, this is going to be your stronger side with this base. I mean, usually if this base was over here, then you could call this part your stronger base, but it's so far in the middle that you're going to be sending stuff towards the middle. So this base is all by itself. So a bunch of units are taken out here by south. You see the unit count advantage by data shift at 21 versus 16. Yeah, unit value is a bit better for south, honestly. You can cover see the tank a little bit with this guy, but easy kill there. But even then, like, this is very smart because sure, you send the tank here to take this guy out, then you attack with his copter here, but there's two copters. So you're gonna be losing a tank and a copter, right? Like these copters are gonna do a lot of damage to a tank. Look at this stuff. 7 to 8, like that's ridiculous. That's pretty much a dead tank. So using a full tank and a full copter to try to finish off a dead tank and take out a copter, to then lose both of them, like this is just going to be a negative trade for South, right? But I was saying it's in airport range. There's more copters already for GRIMM, so that is definitely a battle that South does not want to get into. He is going to be able to flip that, and he might try to slow down this flip of capture. You also gotta be wary of this, right? Yeah, but okay, he is actually going in. He's like, I'm committed. I started this fight. I need to end it. So copter on copter. Ooh, this is at 1. I think a GRIMM copter takes it out. But look at that GRIMM firepower. It is gonna get unleashed with the power of super, and uses actually interrupts his own capture to finish off this infantry. Sends another copter, makes an ant over here to make sure this doesn't go through. You got this 4 HP, soon to be 6 HP tank to sort of deal with this anti-air. It does need a little bit more HP, or else this guy can probably take it out. But if you look at the map, how many tanks does GRIMM have? He only has this one. He has 2 copters and then just a bunch of infantry. And then we have anti-air, we have 2 tanks, 2 copters for ADDER, this, and an artillery. And this artillery can put a lot of threat onto the base. They're pretty essential for base locking. As GRIMM has not been doing anything, right? Data Shifter has not been pumping out a single vehicle since he got that first tank sniped by this one. It hasn't, like, this base has only been pumping out infantry. That's it. He's like, whatever, get that city, I'll get this one. Gets into another fight here, and okay, uses the power to probably get this KO right here. So boom, boom. Okay, nice. Start that capture. Block there. Ooh, and blocks here. And now the lack of unit count over here is gonna make it so data shifter is going to flip the city. The center could still come in and I think take out this 6 HP tank or leave it at like 2. And then there's not going to be any tank. Will he make a tank? Like, okay, base skip tank? He missed a tank on this side, okay. So, okay, base skips for a tank, but doesn't make it on this side. So, man, this game... we're just seeing a full-on like trade of the sides, right? Like this side is like, well, this side is like, whatever, just make infantry. Now, yes, he doesn't have to make a tank because Artie is coming in, and that's dangerous for the space. He wants to prevent it from just dying to a snowball of infantry and artillery. But he could have very well done a tank on this side to kind of take out this anti-air. Leaves it at 2. Okay, Koto comes in. But again, this is a winning fight for GRIMM. It's in airport range, like still, right there. So losing trade here for South. And I go in, take out with a side slip, boom, takes out that one. Even gonna kill this guy. So yeah, no more unit count for data shifter. Smart that he made that tank because yeah, all of those were dead. And there you got that already coming. Next turn it's gonna be locking down that base. So data shift is not gonna be able to pump out much else. Maybe he starts sending this next infantry towards this area. Tricky stuff. I'm gonna start capturing the city, which is also in range of that HQ, so you gotta be careful. Don't want to allow like any infantry walks over here, tank blocks, for example, and you don't have any copter range to stop it or something like that. It makes a recon here, which is a nice low investment kind of counter to all these infantry, right? So these 4 infantry. He still has this anti-air, which should be uncountered right now. There's no tank. So, but I don't know. He made a recon. He also didn't have funds to make like a tank. So I think this is smart. Get another unit that can shoot at infantry that isn't another infantry. Copter, there goes a copter trade. This copter could also kind of go here and attack this guy or this guy. Anything that's out of range of this copter. Actually, this is a side slip, so he doesn't have the charge. He's like halfway through another side slip. So perhaps he could attack like this guy. I guess he's not going to. Okay. But perhaps he can go and take out this one. We'll see what he does. Tank is going to take out that infantry. Okay, he goes for that one. Which is, okay, out of range of a side slip. And there's no healthy infantry here for South. They got these somewhat healthy and this one coming. Okay, it does send that infantry from the middle towards the right to kind of assist and have like some more unit count. And desperately needs a tank over here to deal with his anti-air and recon. So there he goes. He makes a tank and makes a tank on this side. So double tank now. So he's not gonna abandon this base, right? He's like, okay, I let this city get flipped. I allowed all these units to be literally in front of my base, but that's it. Now go back. This is my area. These are mine. Yeah, go away. Pretty much. Also interrupts over here. And kind of winning the infantry battle in the middle. He still has 3 more healthy infantry, while South has 1 and another one coming. So a little bit better in the middle because of this whole vehicle trade that went negative for South. It's looking better for data shifter actually. Tank is gonna wrap around and attack this city tank. Gonna really try to lower it and blocks. Ooh, that really hurts. Brutal. Nice there by South, like locking in this guy, trapping this guy, which is also out of range of this like infantry support, and at the same time locking down the base. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. So, infantry fight over here. Gonna keep capping, perhaps. And you're gonna get a free kill there on an infantry. Recon's gonna come in, attack on another infantry, which is the one that had flipped this city. And he's gonna make some anti-air. He needs some extra anti-air support because he has lost like the air battle in the middle, right? So he needs to be a bit careful. All these infantry are like in range of a side slip, which he will definitely get if this brawl keeps going. So not like data shifter can go crazy here in the middle. Let's see. Infantry, both infantry now moving towards the right. He's gonna take that injured tank, was it? No, just an infantry. But yeah, the tank is gonna go down. And gonna use the tank and a power, possibly to kill the anti with copters. Injures that one. Goes for these infantry fights, which are massive. 9-2, man, that is a GRIMM right there. And ooh, actually finishes up with just one copter. Wow, crazy. And finishes that one off, which also kind of sits on the neutral city, so this guy can't sidestep onto that. He'll probably leave this one behind, so it covers these cities, or that, I don't know, on the city. Problem though, I guess this copter is protecting these two from this copter, but this guy is unprotected, so that one will probably die. So it kind of was like a trade there. But this base, it can very easily go down. You got copter, artillery, right? You can take it out and then you sit this 2 HP tank on the base and that's it. So Data Shifter's base is most likely lost. South here, base skipped last turn. Oh my god, again here. And now you do have that tank and another tank coming, plus a few copters after the anti getting taken out by freaking, what was it, 5 HP tank or so with another copter. That's crazy. So there you go, boom. Copter gonna come in, take that tank out. Probably gonna put this 2 HP tank right there. Oh, I guess not. I guess just goes for the cities. Because this anti can't reach his copter, so it's like, what unit can you make on the space that will withstand these guys, right? Anti-air will die, tank will die, infantry will die. You would have to make a medium tank, but even then you're gonna get shelled by a freaking artillery, so, and a copter. So he can let it be and let Data Shifter build something if he wants to and get a free shot there. Our here keeps fighting with these infantry, but now we have 2 healthy ones against 2 healthy. A few of these very injured ones, which are gonna work as nice blockers. And now we have the anti that finally got into the middle. So perhaps Data Shifter is gonna need one of these tanks to shift towards the middle to contest this anti, or else he's gonna have to abandon the middle completely. Infantry gonna, doesn't get the kill there. Gonna start the capture on both cities. And gonna take out the recon and probably lock, the tank. Nice. Nah, damn, these base blocks are so clean. And that infantry is gonna go down, so it leaves one healthy one for south, and you got these two, but one of the tanks, I guess, the first healthy one went towards the middle, but I think these two can go down pretty easily, right? You could do like infantry and then anti-air. I guess it's sort of like a trade down, which again follows the whole GRIMM advanced strategy against ADDER of just trading down like crazy. Like look, 13 to 16 units, 50,000 in unit value, like so funny. And he just makes an infantry because he realizes that that base is lost. I'm not gonna make anything of value and just get it shot down. I want my money to be on vehicles that will be alive, that can do stuff, and not just immediately die to an artillery. At the same time, South has that power, so he's kind of getting zoned out, and that's the tricky part where Data Shifter has to be careful. But so far, it's been so interesting, right? How it's been going like that. What Voice of Akasha said of GRIMM, the only thing that he can do is really brawl it out like crazy, and then sidestep doesn't do too much. Except for that first tank by Data Shifter that got sniped. That could have changed. Like if that wasn't in range, that could have made a whole different game. But we're long from done from this match. So it's gonna get a decisive here. He's gonna take that out. He stops that capture to start the base capture. So that base is lost. There's just no way of getting that back. And these two are actually gonna get taken out. Although. Yeah, I mean, that was a possibility, but the thing is, one of these are going to go down. The anti are going to take that out. Oh, I guess you have the tank support. I mean, it's fine. Like, you can take out the infantry and then you send the anti-air. We'll see if he decides to do that. But, we have a crazy match on our hands, and this is only the beginning. Cop the tank are going to come in and take out that tank. Sits the 1 HP copter on the base. gets the 2 flips, and then he can start capturing these things later. So both bases have successfully gone down, and he actually does do that. He uses the copter to clear, and then Anti to take out the copter, so he gets a bit more charge. Tank, again, was supporting, so it is in range of shooting from the city to this Anti-Air. You have to support now a tank. It's looking a little bit tricky, but it's also in range of this copter, like the city. So tricky. Now that's copter and Anti-Air going down most likely. So it's like a 2-for-1 kind of vehicle trade. Is it at 3? I guess that's kind of fine. GRIMM Anti-Air is also pretty fine because of the increased firepower again. You can heal it up to 5 and it probably takes out a copter at 10. Base is successfully flipped, so ADDER currently has 4 bases against 2. And also gonna get all these cities. Uses the power to, actually takes out the Anti-Air. Probably though that it is in range of this other Anti-Air, so that's tricky. And actually goes for the HQ cap. Oh man. And the 1 HP infantry is gonna block this so that this Anti-Air cannot reach. So the only thing that can reach this HQ cap would be to send like this tank to clear this and then anti-attack from the forest, or use the copter to attack from the C-tab. But this is gonna force a whole bunch of vehicles from Data Shifter to be invested into taking out infantry, and they get taken out. So not only did he go negative on a vehicle trade just now, like a 2-for-1, but he's gonna go negative as well, but forced, because he has to stop this. And start that capture as well, which is also in range of that city. Gonna clear some of this stuff out, and yeah, this area is done. Now this base has to kind of be like, oh, do I go towards the middle? Do I go toward this side? This RD is still alive, so you can still put pressure on this base. I think next turn, can it sit here? No, with sidestep perhaps, but no, he's very far from another sidestep. So, what would you do here? Do you send the copter only? Do you send these two? Go for the copter kill? Okay. Gonna go for the port capture. Moves off this copter and the tank, so it leaves the base available for Salt to make something on this base. But he decides to use the copter to interrupt this, and probably is gonna go and take out this Anti-Air. So might go for like an air superiority moment. This copter is still in range to support this infantry capture. So you're gonna leave it at 2 HP. Oof. So trying to really injure it. And you don't have another incoming copter. You do have this one though. And he makes an Anti-Air. Okay, so this Anti-Air is gonna be protecting from this copter. Well, especially from this one. Oof. So HQ cap has been stopped, but he could recap and then he had to send more. But that was, I think now he got a little bit more favorable of a trade, right? He took out a copter and an Anti-Air. We'll see if South attacks here or not. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vehicles in this area for GRIMM, and you got 1, 2, 3 for Soul. So it's gonna be tough to get a winning trade here by Salt. He can send this copter here, and then like tank attack this tank attack this Anti-Air, some sort of thing. But I think it should be pretty easy for Data Shifter to ensure that this doesn't go through, right? Like he can clear any copter blocking over here, and then he can attack with one of these copters, and he's gonna have another tank coming to attack the other tanks. So he's pretty good. He just has air superiority. He has 3 copters over here, including this one. Man, will Salt make something on the space? He does. He makes a panic. Well, not so much of a panic. It's like a revival of the base medium tank buy. Probably Data Shifter should have kept this 1 HP copter on the base so that this doesn't happen. The other thing would be that these two could kind of take out this tank, and then he can put the 1 HP copter on this base. I don't know. A little bit of a slip up there, I feel like, from Data Shifter. Could have just left that guy on the base and ensure that this doesn't happen. But this medium tank can get trapped by these two. Like, you just shoot at it with this copter and you block it off with this 1 HP, and you just keep doing that with other units, and that's a 16,000 funds unit that is just going to be stuck there shooting at copters or infantry pretty much, right? So from Soul's side, I'm not sure how much you would want to do that, because now not only you're losing in a vehicle trade over here, now you're putting your funds over here and trying to like not lose the space while you're losing the battle here in the middle. So we'll see if this is going to be worth it or not. All right, we're gonna get that clear there. We're gonna detect the tank and this anti-air. But again, this is gonna be a tank. That's gonna be a copter clear. That's gonna go down. Then you have this other copter. It should be pretty easy for these two, like to clear and then attack the guy on HQ. So we'll stop it for another turn. So Salt getting himself into a battle here that he can't win really. Not even making another copter again because he made this medium tank. So decisions are important. Those purchase decisions are very important. Slowly that already is coming for that other base. So Salt is gonna try to go like kind of full circle here. Gonna get this capture next turn, gonna get the port, so that income is gonna be very swingy very soon, although Dead Shift is also getting this one. It's gonna get that port. Yeah, Copter attacks the tank, Copter goes down. Ooh, okay, doesn't go for that. Okay, he's gonna use this tank to clear the infantry instead, okay. And then tank, Copter takes out that. Do you put the Copter there? Oh my god. I mean, you can take it out with this tank, but the problem is that this tank wanted to be shooting at these guys right here, right? Because of the losing battle that Soth got himself into. So it's like, are you going to send this tank down here to clear the base? Or are you going to send it to try to somewhat even the battle? Just the lack of anti-air and copters, air kind of counters from Soth, right? Is very crucial here in the middle. And because he made a medium tank again, like, man, maybe he really should have left that base be and should have made a copter here. But he does get those two captures. And he's gonna send the tank back to clear the base. And medium tank's gonna be free to shoot at an infantry. He can probably make another infantry. It's a little nice because he can block this guy from sniping the new infantry that will want to go and recapture these properties. Artillery coming from Data Shifter as well. That it will try to lock down the space most likely again, or try to deal with a medium tank perhaps. But has to, okay, pulls back the 9 HP tank, so kind of retreated from this whole battle, going negative on that vehicle trade it seems like, and finishing the turn behind on unit value. He's ahead on unit count, right? Salt is 19 to 13. To be fair, Salt does have 4 bases and Data Shifter has 2. So that unit count discrepancy is just gonna get bigger and bigger as he made 4 infantry, right? He made 4 infantry this turn and a copter. But the unit value, the Data Shifter, he is ahead by half a turn. He's ahead by quite a bit. And 16k of Salt is over here in this single medium tank. So Data Shifter can pose more threats. Like right, he has 2 vehicles right here. He has 2 vehicles right here. So you can go ahead and take out this infantry in the base again. He can, I don't know, take the tank out. Probably not, because you have the copter here supporting it. Perhaps he could, because it doesn't have enough for a sidewinder. Look, so you can probably attack from like the bottom, and you attack the infantry. I don't know, that kind of stuff. Or you attack the medium tank. I don't know. But definitely won the battle in the middle. Just doesn't have infantry after all those infantry were sniping at each other. Doesn't have enough infantry to like make some reward from this middle. But he does have that unit value discrepancy. And we'll see if he can make something out of it, right? A few infantry are coming in. We got this one in range of the city, which would also be in 2 turns from the HQ. This one supporting as well. Got another copter, and gonna probably clear the last unit here in the middle. Actually using the copter tank to like first strike these 2 tanks. Wow, very bold. So that copter is gonna go down. And then this tank can probably go down by these 2. But then he's also supporting this copter with this one, and he's also protecting the port with his copter as well. If this penguin wants to go and capture that. Imagine he makes a, I don't know, a battleship here and he could be logging down 2 bases or a carrier. He can lock down the airport. Man. this match just gets crazier and crazier. I guess this was covering, but you can make an anti here, so that's probably what Soth will do. But he's lost the middle, and he's gonna have to keep investing stuff. Okay, he doesn't. He makes an anti over here instead. Okay, I guess with a sidestep it reaches the port. Same with this copter. So I guess that's fine. The medium tank is kinda unprotected from a copter strike. Over here, he's just making infantry, it seems like. Just infantry and an artillery slowly building up those infantry numbers to push into the space. So next turn, it is in range. And because Data Shifter has no units, wow, he even base skipped when he only has 2 bases. The unit count difference is crazy. Yeah, this already can reach this base. Like next turn, it can sit on this forest or this one, and he'll be aiming at this base, which is one of the last 2 bases that Data Shifter has. But he has a bunch of army in the middle, and he is going to go and snipe the copter. It looks like he joined those 2 tanks, and he's gonna attack that anti-air, and he's getting awfully close to that HQ. So Soth has to be extremely careful. Like, look at how many vehicles he has, because of all the brawling we saw earlier, because of all that just positive trades he was getting. Doesn't even go for the port interrupt because he wants to keep as many copters alive, most likely to try to go for freaking HQ cap. And Soth does have a unit count advantage, but does have a whole bunch over here, which I feel like he can march forward this next turn. This tank doesn't reach any covering tile, so you could put like infantry, 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 artillery, and then he's locking down that. So we'll see if he does that. You know, take out that copter that did the little copter trade, even the tank out, and there you go. Gonna capture, gonna get there. Okay, yeah, that also works. So that is it's got a dilemma there for Data Shifter, but we'll see what he does. Will he just give up the base? Will he sacrifice a tank? He can also just bring a copter. Maybe Soth needs an anti-air, but he's not making one. He can possibly bring this copter over here to support this, because a single copter from Data Shifter should shut this down pretty quickly, or just a single extra unit should be shutting this down as well. Because if you're GRIMM and you can break through and then attack the arty, then this would never happen. Now the medium tank might slowly come into the battle over here, and Soth needed to be careful with the positioning because that HQ cap can happen, and I bet you it will happen. Yeah, HQ cap happening. We already saw one. It didn't go through, and now we're seeing it on the other side by Data Shifter. We have 4 bases against 2 bases, guys. We have base skips galore. We have medium tank over here in the corner. Weird trades, overextending tank over here near the bases while an HQ is happening. Gonna try to block. So look at how this copter is trying to this anti is trying to block this anti from reaching over here. So it does have a lot of charge, so he can use a power. Oh, actually, okay, takes out that infantry, and he's gonna try to attacks that tank. He can probably try to block. Oh, it doesn't even block this tile. I guess this copter would anyways be able to reach this infantry, and there's only 2. I think this is a problem. Data Shifter only has 2 infantry. If this one would be a little bit closer, or if I don't know, maybe he had a base skip so much, or I don't know. He just doesn't have enough infantry. There's only 3 infantry in the whole board. Yeah, only 3. 1, 2, 3. So if Soth is able to take this out, he'll be good, but this is a whole lot of army. So we'll see if he can do something. He's gonna put the tank just out of range. Oh, okay, he puts the tank. I was thinking of putting the tank here so that he can hit the infantry trying to cap or something. But this also works because he wants to make sure he doesn't lose the comm tower, right? If not, this guy would just walk onto the comm tower and make it really awkward. But we have another HQ cap happening. Can Soth stop this with an adder power? He can easily interrupt it right here. So we'll see. Tank is gonna injure that anti-air. Okay, Copter takes out that. He uses the Sidewinder. So he uses this super. What does that do? Not sure. Medium tank's gonna KO that tank probably. Yep. And then that allows this copter to reach over here. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So Sidewinder reaches there. And he could 2 KO that infantry in the HQ, but he doesn't. He goes and injured the following infantry, the supporting one. And this is so smart. Because now he can't join this. Like, that's 3 and 1. That's so low. That's gonna be 4 HP. That's so low. It's so easy to, like, such a delay on the HQ cap threat. And this might just be enough for Soul to hang on as he makes a freaking rocket now to really make sure that that HQ does not go through. Oh my god. Also, this RD shot on the medium tank is gonna hurt a ton. But this rocket is gonna really shoo away all his stuff. So even if this gets shot, the rocket can shoot at the artillery next turn because it doesn't have to shoot at the infantry in HQ. Can do that next turn. He's also taking out that and starting the capture on the base, even blocking the tank, so nothing can interrupt this base. So freaking Soul is gonna have 5 bases against 1 base for Data Shifter. How crazy is that? Man. Insane. And these 2 guys are getting awfully close to HQ as well. And brought this other guy kind of to block, I think, over here. I don't know. Already shot on the medium tank. Oof, so much damage right there. So much value. Gonna take out this infantry. Takes out the medium tank. Doesn't get the kill there. And this is something from the stream that I remember from Voice of Akasha, which was pretty impactful. Because this other full health tank was sent to finish it off. Maybe something else could have happened. I wonder if... was this a roll? So... Ardian medium tank does 5 to 6. Oh, wow. And then Copter does 31 to 39. 31 to 39 plus this. So it was kind of a low chance. And there was a chance of taking it out. But with the power, perhaps he... no, perhaps not. Definitely. With the power, he could have definitely taken the medium tank out with those 2 shots. Maybe he should have gone like for anti-air hit on the Copter and this Copter over here. Like, gets a bit more charge to be able to clear that. But he's gonna anti-air there and then Copter on this other Copter. Wow, even after that, he doesn't have the charge for power. So, yeah, I guess it wasn't possible. It's getting pretty expensive. And you're gonna get that tank shot there. Pretty much all the vehicles from South are down. The only healthy vehicles he has are literally just this rocket that he just bought and this artillery. Then he has these injured Copters and this injured anti-air. Everything else is good. But he got this freaking base going down. Freaking 5 bases against 1 base. This is the last base that Data Shifter has. Oh man, what is going on? Infantry are gonna get cleared there, which was, yeah, it was pretty guaranteed. I think there was somewhat of another turn that Data Shifter could have done, which could have been better. Perhaps even guaranteeing the HQ cap. Well, in all honesty, you do have the rocket, so he could still finish that off. Perhaps it was from the past turn where he could like block, so that South couldn't Sidewinder do that kind of stuff. But yeah, tricky. Maybe the supporting infantry should have been like way back here, right? Like far away from units, so it can't get sniped. Maybe just like stand over here or something. RT just gonna get shot down by this rocket. Comtar is getting capped, and this infantry is gonna move out to block this tank from interrupting it. So there's nothing that can interrupt that Comtar cap. Oh man. Data Shifter is in problems. Problems? He's in trouble. And makes a bomber now. And I haven't even talked about the income disparity, guys. Like 11 to 23k income disparity. But even then, even with that income disparity, Data Shifter starts his turn ahead on unit value. He has more army, like more firepower army than South at the beginning of his turn, being 1 to 5 bases and being literally more than double the income behind. It's just the vehicle trades have been so freaking positive for Data Shifter. And now this either cannot reach this bomber. It's nice and safe from all these mountains and all that kind of stuff. And this infantry is not in range of the HQ, so he can't start an HQ. The problem is this rocket, so he really needs to like if he's just gonna Hail Mary, go for an HQ cap, he needs to do it right now. You also have these guys in range of the HQ set, so that's a danger right there. He's gonna, leaves it at 2 though. And try to take those out, takes these guys out and that. And okay, this image is on the city, which is in range of the HQ. And I think this is really neat actually. Like this bomber cannot reach the rocket, they cannot reach the anti-air. So this bomber can't just like do anything for free. This is super interesting, really nice turn there by Data Shifter. So these 2 anti-airs are safe from this bomber, and they can retaliate against this bomber if it goes and attacks this tank. And like this rocket can't reach any of the 2 anti-airs. So really nice. South recapturing these 2. That's why he's so ahead on income. He's gonna get the copter as well. So he's gonna start this capture. Which is right there. Like, it is right in front of you, right in front of your airport and this other base. This should not be happening. Oh man, 24 to 11k income and 2 towers by South. But can Data Shifter get an HQ cap? He has 1 single infantry left to capture the HQ. If he can somehow manage to start this capture next turn without getting interrupted, he could very well beat South. Also, South can start the capture of the HQ right now, which he'll most likely do, as he has so many supporting ones. I guess they're kind of far, so it's kind of tricky. I guess he has this one, but he's gonna sacrifice that anti-air, and take that out, and maybe puts the rocket here. Oh, okay. So Bomber's just gonna die. Bomber just took out a tank, and he's gonna die to a 7 HP anti-air. Wow. So Data Shifter is gonna get the HQ cap. Like, right? Until you can take out the bomber. We got the power, so that's gonna, okay, it leaves it at 2. It can still deal some damage, right? So let's see. A 2 HP bomber to an infantry on the HQ, how much does it do? It does 1. If he had the super, he could have taken it out, but he didn't have enough charge for a super. So he needs to make sure to block it off while also taking out the rocket, while also making sure that you have more than 1 layer of copters, because this fighter is going to be able to take out a copter and then the bomber can reach. The margins here are ridiculously slim. So he is going to go obviously for the HQ cap. He's going to take out the rocket with a 4 HP copter. Gonna take out the artillery. Gonna attack this infantry. Gonna put the tank at the base. Oh, he's just gonna allow the bomber to deal 1 damage to this infantry. Huh. I guess because he's injuring it here, and there's literally, guys, there's no vehicle for South. He has no tanks. He has no land vehicles whatsoever in the entire map. The only vehicle he has is a 2 HP bomber and a fighter. And that is it. That's all that South has. Literally almost 80,000 in value against 33 for South, while being more than twice the income ahead. What is going on? What is this match? You can't tell me this match isn't the craziest you've seen. So pretty much South has lost, right? Well, I guess, well, yeah, because he injures here, he leaves it at 9, and he can't follow that up because he can't build a rocket. Maybe if he could build a battleship next turn here to shoot it down, but that's just not gonna happen. Perhaps if you make another bomber right here, you know? But he actually wins because of a feature that many people forget, which is capture limit. South gets this city, which puts him at 25 captures, which is a capture limit of 25. Something that so many people forget, and something that Data Shifter definitely forgot about. Because he could have very easily stopped these caps. He would have had to stop this cap and this cap, and he could have very easily done that, at least for 1 turn. He just needed 1 more turn to stop, these 2 caps, and he could have gotten this HE cap. Perhaps you could have done like a bomber right here or something, but I think then you can, like Data Shifter could have taken out the fighter with these two anti-airs, right? How much does it do? Say without a power, right? You don't have the charge. Leave it at 6. And then with this one, you leave it at 6 plus 3 is like a lot. I don't know. Almost dead. Like at 1. It leaves it at 1, so it's not going to be able to take out any of these copters. Although you probably want to take up the bomber. I'm not sure. Hey, some kind of arrangement here should be fairly easy for Data Shifter to like take out these guys or just the fighter and then block. Or like trap the bomber, the newly made bomber. There was just nothing that Salt could do to stop the HQ cap next turn. Nothing could be built here. Not a battleship. He didn't have the funds. Maybe he would have saved, but it just wasn't there. Even after being 5 bases ahead against 1 base, having double com tower, just having incredible amounts of income, and just such a discrepancy in the unit value, which is insane. He would have still lost if it wasn't for capture limit. And Data Shifter could have won if he would have just stopped those captures. Oh man, so painful to see. You need to remember about capture limit, guys. Remember, always have that in the back of your mind. Where you're going for this place, this would have been such an epic win by GRIMM. With these advanced GRIMM strategies. Man, crazy stuff. Just winning by brawling and getting positive trades all the time, but losing because of capture limit. Like, let's go back a turn or two. Like for example, right here, Data Shifter could have. I think even here, he could do like tank on this. Oh no. I think perhaps this copter could reach this guy, and this copter can reach this guy. That's one alternative, right? Unless you needed these to, let's see, what did he use them for? Okay, so I used one to take out the artillery, and the other one to nothing. Damn, so he could have done that. Wow, if he sent this copter here and this copter here, no, sorry, this copter here, this copter to stop this, and then this tank stops the HQ cap, it gets shot down, but I think then you still win by HQ cap, right? Maybe use this copter to take out this artillery instead, you know? Like he used those two copters. He used these two copters to take out this infantry. Yeah. Wow, this was such a win by Data Shifter. Wow, crazy. See, and this is the stuff that happens, like little things that could have made the difference. That could have gotten the win. This copter stops this capture, boom. This copter stops this capture, boom. And then what was the other one? Oh, and then this copter goes and attacks this artillery. So these 3 copters had to change what they did. Interrupt, hit the arty, so this tank can shoot at this and just stand there for free and stop this from ever happening. Well, he still is able to take this out with like copter and 4 HP anti-air. He still takes out this with the 4 HP copter, and yeah, he would just win. Man, crazy. But he didn't see it. He probably forgot about capture limit. Man, crazy. Tell me if this wasn't the craziest or one of the craziest matches that you've ever seen. Again, I'll link the Voice of Akasha Twitch channel video VOD thingy in the description. Definitely recommend you guys to check him out. You have all the VODs from his past streams are there, and they're so informational. He always covers such interesting games, and he always he goes in depth about every turn and what could have done differently, like by each player, which would have given them the win. So yeah, and also just so you keep in mind that he's there, and you, whenever he's streaming, you can go and watch him live. You can also ask him stuff and he'll answer back. Very cool guy. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. If you want to go on your GRIMM endeavors out there, perhaps GRIMM guy, again, is like, you know, Cell from like Dragon Ball getting like 2.0. Maybe we have GRIMM guy 2.0 now with these advanced strats against ADDER, perhaps even other COs. But maybe for you guys as well, if you wanna try out GRIMM, maybe try to go just for brawls, just brawl, go for area superiority. It's hard though, it's hard. As you've seen, it's not easy. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.